What is going on, everyone? Hope y'all are doing well, and in this video we're going to talk about what I think are the best stocks to buy going into a recession. With all the talks about possibly being in a recession right now or in 2023, I feel that this is a topic that should be discussed. So with all that said, let's dive right in. When we look at a recession, one of the largest concerns is consumer spending. Over the past week, we had numerous large cap companies who run the market report earnings. And even though we saw companies like Apple and Microsoft produce solid numbers, there was one company in particular that I think we should pay close attention to. Amazon reported okay earnings, and their projections for the upcoming quarter did not look good. Amazon is a company that outpaces all of their competitors. So if consumer spending is decreasing, then it doesn't make sense to allocate money toward retail. So when I'm looking for stocks to buy during a recession, I want to look for companies that are selling needs-based products. A company like Honest is a good example of this. I mean, people are not going to stop buying diapers. They're not going to stop buying wipes. And so companies that will be able to sell their products during a recession, in my opinion, are good companies to buy. Now for this next one, I know that there could be a debate, but I do believe that Shift Technologies could still produce solid numbers despite a possible recession on the horizon. People are always going to need vehicles to get around. Plus, during a recession, not as many people will want to buy newer cars and will look to older vehicles that are more affordable. So in my opinion, not only do I think Shift is in a better position compared to their other used car competitors, but because of how they built their brand, they won't need to spend as much money on advertising and customer acquisition. So I actually believe that even if a recession comes over the next year and a half, they will still be able to generate what analysts are expecting from this company. The other thing to consider is that they could dilute enough to get them to profitability. So as long as they continue to grow, I think the current pricing for Shift actually makes it a solid pick. Another group of companies I'm looking at are those outside of retail as a whole. These kinds of companies are still going to be able to generate revenue despite what consumers end up doing. So even if consumers just stop spending money altogether, these companies would still be able to generate revenue. And as crazy as it sounds, that is why I really think the Bitcoin miners could be in a great spot. I mean, for a company like CleanSpark, where they just generated a profitable quarter, and this will probably continue for the rest of the year, this could be a solid company to hold going through a recession. The question comes down to, how will Bitcoin perform during a recession? But when we consider the low costs in order to generate a Bitcoin for CleanSpark, they have a great safety net compared to their other Bitcoin miners. Another thing to consider when it comes to Bitcoin pricing is that inflation has and will continue to rise for months, if not years. As the dollar continues to lose value, the question then becomes, why keep it in cash? I mean, over the past few hundreds of years, we have seen changes in the world's reserve currency. And with the amount of money that has been printed, we could see a shift in the reserve currency. Now, I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, but we are now in a position where people will start to consider moving money over to Bitcoin as a way to protect their wealth. But with all that said, I don't think brokerages are good companies to buy during a recession because they will be dependent on people investing money. And the less money consumers have, the less money they'll be able to invest. So I don't think companies like Coinbase, Voyager, or Robinhood are smart stocks to buy, but that's just my opinion. Now, there is one company that I think many people should keep their eyes on, and that is Palantir. When it comes to a recession, commercial businesses will not want to buy other company products unless it is going to help them survive or thrive during a recession. And that is something that I believe Palantir brings to the table. This company is set to thrive because of the amount of cash they have on hand, the ability to turn a profit in a year, and companies are now going to have to look for solutions to get through these difficult times. What's going to happen is either these companies will not get Palantir products and struggle to get through the recession, or they will start looking at these products for solutions when it comes to their capital utilization and other major business decisions. With all that said, I do think that Palantir could still trend down due to its high valuation when it's viewed in the short term. But for me, I'm just going to keep buying anytime it's under $15. The last stocks to look for are companies that address current issues that still need to get solved. One of the biggest issues we have in our country is that there's simply just not enough housing. And with the drastic increases in housing prices, affordable housing is going to become even more important. So companies like SG Blocks, in my opinion, will still build and generate solid revenues despite being in a recession. Now, before I move on, I need to mention that SG Blocks has not executed on their major housing projects yet. And so I think you still need to take this one with a grain of salt. But affordable housing is always going to be needed despite the season that the economy is in. If SG Blocks does execute, then this could be a good option for diversification. I personally don't think this could be a number one position given the fact that they have not completed their largest contracts. But if you do believe in this company and where they're going over the next 3 years, then I don't see how they aren't at least on your watch list. So real quick to recap, the kinds of stocks that I'm going to be looking for are companies that have needs-based business models, companies outside of retail as a whole, and companies that help other businesses survive and thrive during a recession. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit that like button so more people can hear this perspective. And if there are certain companies that you are looking into during a recession, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. That way you are notified when new content comes out. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next one.